Namaste everyone. In today's video, we're going to focus on Muni Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 3.34. Now in this particular Yoga Sutra, Muni Patanjali is helping us to understand the impact of doing Sanyam on the heart and how this helps us to understand our consciousness or the Chitta a little bit better. So let's take a good look at the Sutra, break it up word by word and try to see what it's communicating about this particular Sanyam and its Vibhuti. So the Sutra itself goes Hridaye Chitta Samvit. Alright, so yet another short, compact, very easy to understand Sutra. The first word here is Hriday, which refers to our heart. And it's also a name in India which is used pretty often. People have the name Hriday and it's usually for a boy. So that is Hriday. Then coming to the next word, we have Chitta. And Chitta, of course, refers to the consciousness. We've been studying it since the very first sutra itself. So that is Chitta. And then we come to Samvit, which is referring over here to a particular kind of knowledge. So now when we translate the sutra, what it's saying is that through doing Sanyam or through concentrating with Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi upon the heart, we start to receive the knowledge about the Chitta. So this is the meaning now of this sutra, but now let's go a little deeper and try to see what exactly it's trying to tell us. Alright. So first and foremost, we need to understand something about the word Samvit. Samvit is usually translated as knowledge and or awareness. But in this particular sutra, commentators have chosen to go with the knowledge because awareness can be a little bit more of an abstract term, whereas here in this particular case, it is referring more to the knowledge, complete understanding of something, deep understanding. And so they felt it more suitable to go with knowledge as the meaning of Samvit rather than awareness or consciousness. So that's number one. But now let's start understanding what are they saying when they say that you need to do Sanyam on the heart, and why the heart? So in the olden times or the ancient times, what was noticed is that whenever there's any change in our consciousness, whenever we feel a bit different, some of the earliest signs are noticed within the heart itself. So if we're scared, there are palpitations of the heart. If we're excited, the heart beats faster. So there are some very obvious changes in the circulatory system that take place due to our change or our experience of change in our consciousness. And so they felt that perhaps since there's such a close linkage, if we focus on the heart itself, and what are its tendencies, why does it fluctuate, what is happening with it, then we can get, through that analysis, a deeper understanding and knowledge of the consciousness, the Chitta, why it operates the way it does, what is the content in it at the moment, and really just understand it even better. And I have to tell you, this is a bit of it feels like an illusion because it's like saying, use the Chitta to create Sanyam, to concentrate on the heart, to understand the Chitta. So it might sound like a bit of an illusion, but it's really incredible because we know about the witness principle, right? So we are using that to kind of watch or observe what's going on in the Chitta, and it is a little bit like Inception almost when you think about it. But this is exactly what the sutra is talking about, using the heart as sort of the seat of knowledge of consciousness and then working around that to understand the content of the consciousness, why the consciousness is feeling the way it is right now, what are some of the things that are emerging in it, and therefore how do we understand it a little bit better. Now at the same time, we have to say over here that now in modern science, we associate consciousness more closely with the brain and the nervous system rather than the heart and the circulatory system. So this is, I think, just a difference of our time, because when these sutras were written, perhaps it was much easier to record and understand the movements of the heart because it's much more easily accessible. Whereas now the kind of instruments, modern day scientific equipment that we have we can track brain waves, we can track neurological activity, we can understand the nervous system. So we've almost gone a step further in our scientific endeavors in understanding the consciousness, the mind, the body, and all of those things. So there's a clear difference because of the time in which these sutras were written and what was accessible at the time. And the organ that was most easy to understand was the heart and was more closely connected to the consciousness. But of course, now with our modern day equipment, we can also use these technological advancements for that same information about the consciousness, at least about the brainwaves and the mind for sure. So, it's just something that has happened with the advancement in time. So taking these sutras as well in their historical and cultural context, we need to remember that some of them were written many years ago, and so things could have changed, evolved for the better after the sutra was written, which I think is the case with this particular sutra. So yes, if you're a yogi and a yog sadhak, sure, you can go ahead, concentrate on the heart, and if you believe with your full force and value system that this is going to give me the knowledge of my consciousness, sure, you can receive that. But at the same time, we have a lot of scientific equipment that can do that for us in a much easier way, that we may not necessarily need to be yogis for to gain that information and that knowledge. So just, I would say, advancement of time and slight a bit of a difference with the kind of equipment we have available now. So that is all about Sutra 3.34, using the heart and doing Sanyam on that to understand the state of consciousness, state of mind, and the way we are feeling at the moment. So this is all about Sutra 3.34. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Leave your comments in the comment section below. And also don't forget to share this video with your friends and family so they too can see what this sutra is all about, especially if they're studying yoga philosophy or doing the yoga teacher training. Now, we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get notified when we release a video, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, take care, and we're going to see you very soon. Namaste.